Flowing with what is. Hey guys, I'm Ian McMinn. This is Path to I Am. Today, I want to talk about flowing, as always. So, when I am letting myself move with the current of my life, instead of trying to make things happen, I'm just when I wake up in the morning, I let myself kind of float with the energy of the day. If there's any discomfort, if let's say I wake up grouchy, I'm not choosing to fight with the grouchiness and thus perpetuate more. I'm kind of letting myself let it be as it is, and naturally, by just relaxing and letting go, I'm going to let myself feel that grouchiness and not necessarily act from it, kind of more just let myself flow through it, right? And so this is the nature of flowing. I can be fighting against the current, or I can just be letting it take me. And when I let it take me, what I'm going to find is, oh my God, why didn't I do this sooner? Even if I've been only out of the flow for 30 seconds. It's like, man, I could have done this 10 seconds ago. I could have done this 20 seconds ago. I could have chosen to relax even just a little bit and let the stream start to take me. And the more I let the stream take me, the higher up that scale I go. I don't need to do anything to let my cork float. I can just let go of the cork. So I can just do less. When I'm holding onto the cork, I'm doing more than when I've let it go. And before long, oh my God, my cork is bobbing along the surface of the water, as I've talked about. That lovely Abe analogy. So when I really just let myself kind of float through my life, I may not necessarily suddenly find myself, the founder of some massive empire, but I may find relatively quickly that I really enjoy my life. I just seem to, for no reason at all, enjoy my life. That's really all I'm talking about here. Let me say that again. I may find myself sort of for no reason at all, just enjoying my life. That's it. Because what's so funny is from that, I'm just sort of enjoying my life thing, I will find myself with new things that show up, but when they show up, they don't necessarily seem as new as when I first thought of them. So even in the stream, when you're floating downstream, every little leaf that you come across, every little twig, and even every pot of gold that you come across seems like the next logical step. So it's not, when you're letting the stream do all the work, when things show up, it's not shocking. There's a natural progression. There is no such thing as quantum leaps in our lives, as much as it is I'm flowing, and then something shows up that seems just like it makes sense for it to show up. So obviously I'm talking about manifestation, or I'm talking about desired results we have. When we end up in a really lovely relationship, from the vantage point of the stream, the way we will experience it is, oh yeah, I am in a relationship now. It just sort of piece by piece, drop by drop, it rained enough times to where, I had an empty pool and now the pool is full. I have a pool I can swim in, right? But it didn't progress in a way that was shocking. It got to flow, right? So the way that things show up when we're going downstream, it often doesn't even feel like there's a big change. So that is a bit of a sneak peek. If you're not kind of living from flow, which is totally okay, if this sounds strange to you, it's because if you were to start flowing down the line, you may find yourself in the place I'm talking about where you just sort of, for no reason at all, are enjoying your life and things are just kind of sort of showing up for you here and there. And you're going to realize, oh, I have changed that much. I used to be so fixated. That's actually the issue, ironically. The issue why somebody would be brought to being obsessed about manifestation is because they suck at being in flow. Just let yourself float downstream. There are the people that are most well-rounded, ironically, most of the time have never studied any of this stuff. What they have studied is, well, I feel more like doing this than doing that. I feel more just kind of letting things be as they are. In other words, the people that are in most of the flow, for the most part, there are exceptions to this. I like to think I'm an exception, but maybe not. The people that are most in flow are the people that have just kind of naturally always prioritized ease, and they've naturally just chosen to prioritize that. Have naturally just always felt that soft, gentle inner knowing, that soft, gentle inner voice is the one to listen to. And they end up, sort of like I'm talking about, they enjoy their lives for no reason at all. Things seem to work out for them. They're kind of living in the lazy river of life. If you've ever been to Hurricane Harbor, or other water parks, they have the lazy river, right? They're living in the lazy river of life, and things just kind of work out for them, and people call them lucky, right? I want to be clear, you can study spirituality and also be in that category of like people that are just know how to vibe it out. But it's often people that the reason why they gravitated to spirituality in the first place was they were already fairly good at it, right? So it is this paradox. So when you go with the ease with all that is, that's really what it means when, certain teachers like Abraham Hicks says to be in the vortex or to be floating downstream, or as I like to say, letting life take you. Letting comfort and peace be the guiding light, or soft, gentle desire that just feels really good, or things that are, kind of selfish in your head, daydreams. Be your guiding light. In my experience, the people that are the biggest daydreamers, to me, have the greatest sense of inner knowing of who they are. Because they're comfortable just kind of dilly-dallying. I know I know if it sounds like I'm kind of promoting, sitting on your butt and chilling out, it's because I am. Any good thing that's happened for me in my life, I've always been able to tell that I didn't really create it. Or in other words, I just kind of allowed myself to float downstream, and the stream took me to a satisfying relationship or a business idea that happened to have the right launch pad, right? I mean, these things I did not engineer. But what I did engineer was the choice to not necessarily feel I had to engineer anything. That's what I engineered, was the consistency of just going, I think I'm just going to relax. I think I'm just going to flow. I think I'm going to let the stream take me. I'm going to find myself in more and more positive states. And I'm going to let the thoughts that come in those positive states be the ones that dictate, you know, what I really savor and appreciate. And, you know, even the thoughts come to me on their own in joyful states. Even the impulses to act do. The only thing I'm doing is choosing to just relax. And I know that is a really funny thing to hear, because it's like, what else do I do? I said, not too much else. I mean, obviously continue to show up to your job, you don't need to change anything else in your life. You don't need to get some big divorce, right? But you can, I don't recommend making any big changes, especially when you're learning this. But I do recommend chilling out a bit more than you normally do and seeing what happens, and seeing, yet again, you'll find yourself just kind of enjoying your life for no reason, where you're not really necessarily doing anything new. Maybe you're doing a couple new things, but you haven't invented, interplanetary space travel or anything crazy. You're having the same old cup of coffee, doing the same old things. But the new thing is you're going, man, for no reason at all, I'm just enjoying myself. That's what I'm talking about. And there is so much magic in that, and there's so much magic in just being kind of like the dude in The Big Lebowski, in a way. I mean, in some ways he wasn't floating downstream that much, but the dude abides, right? So anyway, guys, this is Flowing with What Is. I'm Ian McMinn. This is Path to I Am. If you need to reach out to me, I have a clickable link for my website, mcminnconsulting.com. On my channel bio, I also put it in my video description, but you need to copy and paste it from there. But you can sign up for my retreat email list. You can email me to work with me one-on-one as well, if that calls to you. And anyway, guys, I hope you're having a good day, and I will see you on the next one. All right.